Betty, I know why you left me.
Stephen.
Rodney told me, and I talked to Ann, too.
Then you know it was never true between Rod and me. Never true.
Don't.
We had to get away from the Peyton house to talk, just to talk.
I understand that now.
Stephen, just to talk.
Every moment I was away from you, a voice within me kept saying, how could I make it without you? How could I go on working, getting clients, losing clients, pretending I was still a human being? Suddenly I felt that
it was impossible to pick up the piece without you and go on.
Impossible. It was all I could do to put one leg in front of the other. The simple act of walking became an effort. Oh, what did I do to you? I accused you. I hurt your denials. I accused you again. I put you in the rack like someone I despised.
Stephen, it's over.
Oh, I called my wife. All the terrible words, all the terrible words. I punished you. How stupid, how thoughtless, how insensitive. And you had no other way out, did you?
I couldn't handle it. Morton, Peyton, your mother.
And they drove you to it. What did they care about my marriage?
Stephen, promise me something. I know you. And I know you can be hurt, deeply hurt. I know you can lash out, too. Forget about what they did to you. Otherwise, you'll spend the rest of your life hating.
I could.
Oh, Stephen. Come home early. I'll be waiting.
Was Stephen, wasn't it? Good. Well, I have some more good news for you, too. I didn't want to say anything until I was sure, but I've been in contact with the hospital, and your father is much better.
Oh, Mother, I'm so glad.
So, now I'm off to pack.
Pack? You mean you're going to bring Daddy home?
No, darling. I mean, I'm going away. Your father couldn't come back to Peyton Place to live, you know that. You do know that. And we're very lucky. The district attorney's office said that they won't have any charges against him. Leslie didn't prefer charges.
Mother.
Your father and I will find some little town to live in, maybe in California. Someplace where he can get a fresh start.
Leave here. For good?
He can't do it alone, Betty. I'm the only one who can help him.
Mother, why must you punish yourself? That's what it is, isn't it? I mean, you blame yourself for Daddy's breakdown. Now you'll spend the rest of your life with an invalid.
Your father.
An invalid, Mother, a man who'll never really be well again. Mother, you're not old. Why must you sentence yourself? Why?
I have made up my mind. There's nothing for me here, Betty. Not anymore.
Mother, don't do it. I know you must be lonely. But I thought you made up your mind that once you had your divorce, you'd marry again. What happened?
Oh, it wouldn't have worked out. And I can't afford two failures either.
When are you leaving?
Very soon. Oh, Betty, you'll have Stephen now. And everything's going to be just fine between you and Stephen. You are going to be happy, promise. Then when we get settled in California, well, you can come and visit. We won't be out of touch.
And what about this one?
Take care of it any way you please.
Well, Rodney, you might have knocked.
And waited to be invited in. What are you doing here anyway? Did you close the garage early?
You know, all the way over here, I've been trying to figure out a way of telling you this without hurting you. I don't think there is a way.
Tell me what?
I went to see Stephen this morning. Your son, remember?
Get to the point, Rodney.
Okay. I told him everything. I told him that Ann Howard is his sister, that Brian Colby was his father. Everything.
What idiocy made you do such a thing?
I did it for Betty. They had a good thing going, Grandfather. They had a marriage.
I had sufficient reason for doing what I did.
Really? I'd like to hear it. I'd like to hear what's so important that you can ruin two people's lives. Well, can you tell me? Why did you do it, Grandfather?
I refuse to submit to this interrogation.
Oh, no. No, you're not going to bluster your way out of this.
You're developing a rudeness, Rodney, a disrespect. Pity.
You better get used to it. You both better, because your son's going to want to know why you separated him from his sister.
I was mistaken in you, Rodney. I thought you were a mature man, but you're a child. An irresponsible, meddling child.
You going to give me that speech again about the ghosts that lurk in this house? How does it go? There are secrets here, Rodney, that must remain buried at all costs. Oh, no. Not this time. Not after what you did to Betty. Not after the way you tortured her. Not after the way you convinced Stephen that Betty and I were... How could you do that? You told me we were alike. You told me I was a Peyton.
That's true, Rodney.
And I liked that. I loved that. I wanted to be part of your strength. I wanted to be like you. I wanted to be part of your power, part of this house. Oh, you were a tough old guy, and you didn't have much time for words or sentiments. But that was okay, because you were the lord of the manor, and you were better than the rest of us. Oh, you did some strange things.
I agree to that, Rodney.
Things that I thought were cruel, but I always made excuses for you. To myself, to everybody else. You were Martin Peyton, and you could do no wrong. You know, for years I've been bumping heads with Dad and Norman about you. I was convinced that my dad just had a plain old-fashioned case of envy. He envied your wealth, your position, the way you could command the world to shut up. And they listened to your words of wisdom. And Norman, I thought Norman hated you because you obviously favored me over him. I didn't understand why they didn't see you the way I did. I know now. I wanted to belong. I wanted to be a Peyton. But you know something? Now that I know you, what you're capable of doing, I hope you were wrong about me. I hope I'm not like you at all.
You'd better answer it, Hannah.
The continuing story of Peyton Place.
What are you saying? What are you not telling me?
A great deal.
I want to know.
You're ducking me, Norman. You went to see Sandy, didn't you?
What does she mean?
He knows what I mean.
Well, I knew what you were, Mr. Harrington, the first time I met you. A lying, conniving opportunist.
Then we've always had a great deal in common, haven't we, Hannah?